I grew up in Brooklyn, New York. Our elementary school took field trips to the Brooklyn Museum on the yellow school buses. I didn't have the language then to describe the feeling I had, the thing that was making me uncomfortable, until years later. I was looking for myself so hard in those museums, but I was not there, nor was anyone else who looked like me. And if we were there, it was seldom in a way that made me proud or was even recognizable to me. The stories and perspectives of people of the African diaspora were colored by someone else's perception of who we were. I think about the other places in my life where I and others like me are colored by someone else's imagination, someone else's story about who I am, who we are. For over 30 years, I've worked in nonprofits in leadership positions which address issues impacting Black girls and women. While director at the Girls Center, a project of Congreso, we created 3 multimedia, multidisciplinary projects. I knew that it was important for the girls in our center to see themselves because visual representation is powerful. If you don't see yourself, you may think yourself unimportant. When others don't see you, they never have to consider you. I was working in Harlem when my husband called to tell me a plane had flown into the Twin Towers. Our family was spread out across the city, and everything was shut down. Subways, bridges, bus lines. It wasn't until the next day that we were all together again. It was traumatizing. We agreed that we would look for someplace else to live. 11 months later, we moved to Germantown, Philadelphia. We were happy at 4613 New Hall Street. I was always thinking and planning. How can I arrange or rearrange this space or that space so that we can have a different experience of one another? Curation took on a new meaning when we did the first show at the Fringe Art Festival, which was titled Eviction-Proof Peep Show Home. This project enabled us to see that the house could function as a performance space and gave us the blueprint for what is now known as the Colored Girls Museum. I always say, I don't think that the Colored Girls Museum is here because I say so. I think she's here because she says so. I wanted this museum to be a place which would celebrate ordinary Black girls and Black women, keepers of the culture. With Michael Clemens as our curator and Ian Friday as associate director and performance curator, we recruited local Black female artists to install the first exhibition. We received a lot of support from Black journalists locally and nationally, which really helped us get the word out about the museum. In 2016, when the museum reopened for a spring show after the inaugural exhibition, Michael and I were on the 3rd floor looking out of the window, and we saw the line from the front door of the house all the way down the path and going up the block. I will never forget it. We realized then that the Colored Girls Museum had struck a chord, was meeting a need, and was calling her people. I love living in Germantown because Germantown has such a rich history, has such a diverse community. We are an interesting composite of the city itself. Germantown is home to so many activists, artists, and scholars, many of whom fly under the radar. I hope that the Colored Girls Museum can continue to offer ourselves as a model to the city and to the world. Because the Colored Girls Museum is sanctuary, not for colored girls only, but for anyone who is ready for a conscious revolution.